God has given Timothy empowers him to share in suffering by the power of God in verse 8. There are situations around Timothy in which he could have been ashamed. The haters, the scoffers, and the naysayers would have made him maybe feel shame or guilty or second guess his life as a sufferer for Christ's sake. In the Greco-Roman culture that mocked people who believed in one God, as they were polytheistic, they would have mocked Timothy for dare believing that there is one true God that rules the world and that he would preach a man who died in Jesus and was resurrected from the grave. That would have been ridiculous, and that might have brought mockery. But he calls him, Paul, the spiritual father, calls him to not be ashamed of the gospel. Verses 8 and 12 in 2 Timothy chapter 1. And Paul is clarifying that suffering is normative for gospel mission. Normative for gospel mission. He goes on from the call to not be ashamed to the call to hold on to sound teaching in chapter 1, verse 13, and to guard the good deposit. So first and foremost, the normative for suffering. Suffering is a normative part in the reality of the Christian and in gospel mission, because every Christian is a missionary, period, paragraph. Every heart without Christ is a mission field, and every heart with Christ is a missionary. So therefore, it's normative. It's not spooky, weird, and you're failing when you're suffering, but that's the normative reality.